Hello, April is Earth Month, and I'm here to talk about ways that we can be better to our Earth. Because it's my home, it's your home, and it's actually home to a lot of other people as well. In fact, there are 8.2 billion people on Earth right now. That is double the amount of people that were here in 1970, and in the future, it's projected to be at 10.2 billion people by the end of this century, or 2100. So, taking care of our Earth is pretty important, and there are a lot of people here, and we are having some impacts on Earth. Uh, we are impacting the land that we're on, we're impacting our water, but one huge thing is the impact that we have on our waste. 8.2 billion people were generating a lot of trash. In fact, the world waste is 2 billion tons per year. That's every person on Earth. 2 billion tons is 4 billion pounds of waste a year. Americans produce more than most of the world. Looking at this graph, you can see that the United States is a dark green. We are in the highest amount of trash produced of all people on Earth. The average American throws away 1.5 tons of waste per year. That's almost 5 pounds of waste every single day. How? What can we do about it? Well, we can follow the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. This is going to have a huge impact on the waste that we produce here on Earth. But what does it mean to reduce, reuse, and recycle? We've heard of it, but sometimes it's hard to understand what exactly to do. First, try to reduce. This means making intentional, smart choices about what you buy or conscious consumption, conserving resources, and reducing food waste. Here are some ways that you can follow those 3 tips. Conscious consumption means thinking twice and considering if you actually need to buy that item. Could you borrow from a friend? Do you already have something that might work? Do you really need that new sweatshirt? Or can you use what you have? Try opting for less packaging. Sometimes at the grocery store, we might want to buy uh, the cut up fruit that comes in the plastic packaging, but maybe you could just take a few extra minutes and buy a whole pineapple and cut that up yourself. You save some of that plastic. And avoid single use items. Plastic water bottles, try getting a reusable water bottle. That would cut down a lot on our single use plastic consumption. Conserve resources. When you leave a room, turn off the lights, turn off your electronics. Try conserving water, take shorter showers, turn off the sink when you brush your teeth. These are easy things that we can do every day. And lastly, waste less food. Only buy what you need, plan your meals, and store your food properly. Take those leftovers, put them in the fridge so you can eat them later. And if you're able to compost, compost when you can. The second R is reuse. So try using items multiple times before throwing them away. Maybe try a new way to repurpose that item and use it in a different way, like those adorable boots holding flowers. Or try a thrift shop or trade with friends, borrow from family members. I love a hand-me-down. All those ways are we can reuse items before making them into waste. This helps minimize the amount of waste sent to landfills, and it takes a lot of energy and resources required to manufacture and make those products. So if we can reuse when we can, it's going to be super helpful to our environment. Ways that we can reuse, so we can, like I said, trade with friends and family or thrift shop, use reusable products, or repurpose products and use them again. Always try to reduce and reuse first, And then you can move on to the third R, which is recycling. Recycling is taking products that qualify to be recycled. They go to a plant, they're sorted, cleaned, break them down into raw materials, and then they remake them into new products. Rules of recycling. There are 3 rules here for recycling in Snohomish County. Recycle bottles, cans, paper, and cardboard. Rule 2, keep food and liquid out of your recycling. You always want to clean it out. And no loose plastic bags, no bagged recyclables. I'll talk about that more here in a moment. So, recycling depends on where you're at. These rules are specific to Snohomish County and Washington State. If you're in another county or if you're in another state, check your rules first. Plastic bottles and containers. We recycle plastic by shape. That means bottles, jars, jugs, and tubs. Those shapes can be recycled. Food and beverages food and beverage cans include empty tin, aluminum, or steel. Paper can be newspapers, magazines, regular paper, but if the paper is wet or soiled with food or something, it needs to be composted if you can. If not, it needs to be thrown away. Flattened cardboard and paperboard, that includes pizza boxes, but make sure the pizza is out of the box. You don't want any crusts left over in there. Otherwise, it can't be recycled. Food and beverage containers, these could be milk cartons, juice cartons, food boxes. Again, just make sure they're cleaned out and there's no food in them. Glass bottles and containers, those can be recycled here in our county. But again, they cannot be recycled if they are not clean and dry. So make sure you do that before you put them in the bin. There are some things that are not accepted in our recycling bins that you might wonder about. No plastic bags. I know they have a symbol on them and say you can recycle them, but not here in our recycling bins. No bagged recyclables. That means if you have a garbage bag full of plastic bottles and you have it tied up, you have to empty that into the recycling before you can recycle it. No plastic wrap or film. No cups with those wax plastic coatings. No styrofoam. No packaging, and no household items. Again, try to reduce or reuse these before putting them in the trash, and definitely don't put them in the recycle. So, 3 easy things that you can do: reduce, reuse, and recycle properly, and those things will have a huge impact on our waste and how much we are producing on our planet that we love so much and we want to protect. Goodbye.